Yes, it's John G. Sutton. Tales from the Jail. One of the most famous prisoners of the late 19th century was a man called Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde wrote numerous plays. Yeah, no doubt seen plays by Oscar Wilde. A Handbag. Yeah, remember that one? Yeah. The Importance of Being Earnest. A Handbag. Yeah. He wrote a poem about prison as well. It was called The Ballad of Reading Gaol. I never saw a man who looked with such a wistful eye upon that little tent of blue that prisoners call the sky. He's talking about the windows in cells, you see, because when you're in the cell, you're below the windows and you look up and you see the window, and it's that little tent of blue that prisoners call the sky. Anyway, famous inmates. Yeah, of course, we've had that Dr. Death, but he was infamous, wasn't he? Yeah, Dr. Death, he was in strange ways for a while, caused a right bloody nuisance, set himself up as a practitioner on the wings. Yeah, as if you would go to a bloody murderer like that. How am I doing today, Doc? Yeah, let me have a look. Inmate 99. Yeah, oh, I think you're dead. Sorry. Take him away. Yeah, they don't want none of that, do we? Yeah, was that infamous inmate, what was he called? Yeah, Timmy Kangaroo down sport. He was doing working in the arts classes and stuff like that when he was at the open prison, because he didn't get banged up in the scrubs or anything like that. No, he got straight away taken to an open prison. Seem to have open prisons for celebrities and people who are well connected. Although I have to say, John Stonehouse was held at the Scrubs, the former Postmaster General of the Labour Party. He was in the cabinet, the Labour cabinet of Harold Wilson, actually. Yeah, and he was locked up in the Scrubs. He got favourable treatment though. Some of the governor grades used to go and play chess with him at dinner time. Isn't that sweet? Yeah. Anybody here who's been in prison? Did the governors come and play chess with you? Of course they bloody didn't. Do you know why? Because you ain't famous. You ain't a member of the cabinet. You're not one of the boys. And he got out early with a so-called heart attack. John Stonehouse crossed my path a couple of times. Why should I treat John Stonehouse any better than I treated anybody else? I was always decent, straightforward. I tried to be anyway, you know. But when John Stonehouse required me to go and fetch his Lucasade and a copy of the Times, I advised him quite straightforwardly that he was the prisoner. You prisoner, me prison officer. You stay in bed, me stay here guard you. Make sure you do not escape. You know, he was in hospital at the time. You would have thought that he would accept that. No, he didn't. He pressed some button or whatever it was, and the ward sister came over. Officer, go and fetch Mr. Stonehouse's his copy of the Times and Lucasade. I said, you are a nursing sister. I am a prison officer. This is a Home Office production. He's here in the hospital, produced by the Home Office, a prisoner. You are interfering with a Home Office production, and that is a criminal offence. Now you go and do what ward sisters do, and I will do what prison officers do. Simple as that. Now, if you don't mind, about your duties. She didn't like that, you know. You would have thought she'd have gone away and said, well, I better get on with being a ward sister, you know, not interfering in what prison officers do. Phoned up the prison and made a formal complaint about me. I'd only done that about half an hour later. A prison officer arrives from Wormwood Scrubs. Said, you're wanted by the chief officer. Am I? He said, yeah, I'm here to replace you. Well, I recognised the guy from the Scrubs, so I knew he wasn't a setup. So I went back, handed over the prisoner to him, and went into the prison, Wormwood Scrubs. It's only about 200, 300 yards away down Duquesne Road, London West 12, by the way. If you're down, pop round, give him a wave. Yeah, Wormwood Scrubs. Built next door to Hammersmith Hospital, but Hammersmith Hospital wasn't there at the time because Hammersmith Hospital was built about 1882, I believe. The Scrubs was built about 10 years before that. Anyway, and the guy in charge of it was Sir Edmund Duquesne. That's why we have Duquesne Road there. It's named after Sir Edmund Duquesne, who was the General Officer commanding HM prisons. Really? Yeah. And so I get back to the Scrubs, and I went in to see the chief officer, and the chief officer says to me, what's this about causing trouble at Hammersmith Hospital? I said, causing trouble at Hammersmith Hospital? What am I supposed to have done? He said, you've been having words with the ward sister. I said, no, not me. I said, the ward sister was interfering in the Home Office production, and I was in charge of the prisoner, and she came to try and take me away from my duties. I said, did John Stonehouse, the prisoner I was looking after, escape? No, he didn't. Why? I said, well, that means I have done my duty, don't you think? I said, I mean, I wasn't there to wait on him. You didn't send me there as a butler, did you? What are you trying to say, Mr. Sutton? I said, I'm trying to say that I have done my duty. And if you think I've not done my duty, you will no doubt do something about it. But as I have absolutely done my duty, why am I here? Get out of my office. The pleasure's all mine. Yeah, seriously. They're a bunch of arseholes, aren't they? Eh? You can't win in the prison service, believe me. Bunch of brown-nosed bastards creeping up the people. It doesn't matter whether they're prisoners or not. If they think they're connected, yeah, they'll get down there on their hands and knees and stick their nose right in the snot box. They're a bunch of bastards. Anyway, famous inmates, when they get to prison, they do get treated differently. What's his name? Boris Becker. Yeah, he will be open prison straight away. He might have done one day at somewhere like Wandsworth, but he would have just been processed and taken off to... in fact, I wouldn't even think that he'd do that. He'd go straight from the court to open prison, somewhere like Lay Hill, you know, where they've got a little farm and he can pass the time of day pig farming or growing vegetables or talking to the trees, whatever he does. You know, but he certainly won't be banged up in the Scrubs, you know, 3 to a cell and all that. No, they don't do that. They give him a little bit of special treatment, don't they? The other one or two of the pop singers went in, didn't they? Yeah. Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. They only spent one day, though, I believe, but they were processed in the Scrubs and taken and held in the hospital there because obviously they couldn't put them on the wing because they'd have ragdolled them. You know what I mean when I say ragdolled? Yeah. I mean that they got them and passed them round like a couple of toys. Hello, Mick. How you doing? Hey, come in my cell. I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, Mr. Dick. Get down there, you bastard. That kind of thing, you know. But then again, these gangsters tend to do that kind of thing. I'm going to sing you a song. Now we would have the warning. Yes, sorry, we nearly missed the warning then, didn't we? The Song Dinger. For all those who can't stand it, now's the time to take a little trip. And I'll see you soon. But all those who are brave enough, here we go. I'm doing another Leonard Cohen song now. I like Leonard Cohen. kind of a poet, you know. And this song's about his association with a famous singer called Janis Joplin. And in this song, he recalls meeting Janis Joplin and entertaining himself with her in a place in New York called the Chelsea Hotel. Yeah, and apparently they had an intimate meeting there. And when he refers in the end to her turning her back on the crowd, he's talking about her demise because she died shortly after. I think she age was 28 or something like that. It was a famous age for pop stars to die, 28. Yeah. Anyway, this is that's what the song's about, actually, about Leonard Cohen having an experience, shall we say, with Janis Joplin. So this is my version of Leonard Cohen's Chelsea Hotel. I remember you well in the Chelsea Hotel. You were talking so brave and so sweet, giving me head on the unmade bed while the limousines wait in the street. Those were the reasons. That was New York. We were running for the money and the flesh. That was called love for the workers in song. Still probably is for those of them left. Yeah, but you got away, didn't you, babe? You just turned your back on the crowd. When you got away, I never once heard you say, I need you. I don't need you. I need you. I don't need you. And all of that jiving around. I remember you well in the Chelsea Hotel. You were famous. Your heart was a legend. But you told me again you preferred handsome men. But for me, you would make an exception. And clenching your fist for the ones like us who were oppressed by the figures of beauty. You fixed yourself, you said, well, never mind. We're ugly, but we have the music. And then you got away. Oh, didn't you, babe? You just turned your back on the crowd. When you got away, I never once heard you say, I need you. I don't need you. I need you. I don't need you. And all of that jiving around. I don't mean to suggest that I love you the best. Can't keep track of each fallen robin. I remember you well in the Chelsea Hotel. That's all. Don't think of you that often. There you go. Chelsea Hotel, written by Leonard Cohen and performed by John G. Sutton. I hope you've subscribed and liked it and all the rest of it. Tales from the Jail. See you soon.